Sweet, welcome back. So activity one, alignment. So we just went through chapter one. I showed you guys where the AI coach was. This would be a great time to use the AI coach if you want. Otherwise, you're just welcome to write this out on a piece of paper or on your iPad or on the notes app on your phone or wherever. So either is cool. I would first read through it and then decide if you want to use the AI coach. And I'll show you how to do both quickly at the end if you want to watch. So activity one, alignment. So the purpose of this is to help you define what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to do to get there. So most people fail to lose weight because their goals are vague, unclear, and they don't resonate deeply enough. They're not like their true goals. They're something they saw on Instagram. There's something somebody on Instagram told them they should want, etc. So this is ideally getting aligned or clear on what you really want. So take at least 5 minutes of focused time to write honestly, away from people, so you're not worried about judgment. And this is where your own clarity can begin. So step number one is to define your goal. What is your target weight and or body composition? So some people want to lose just fat, lose weight. That's great. Some people actually want to gain weight, which is amazing. If you want to put on muscle, gain weight for athletics, whatever that might be, whatever goal you have, that's super cool. That can be what you go over here. Some people kind of want to do what's called like a recomposition diet, or they just want to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. They're like, I don't really want to be lighter or, I don't want to lose weight, but I don't want to be flabby anymore. I want to be more firm in tone. So whatever that may be, write out what your target weight or body composition kind of is and looks like. And as you get more educated, you'll feel more confident in how you can actually get to that. And that will come later on. So right now, just kind of feel out where you're trying to go with your body weight and your body composition. By when do you want to achieve it? So this is another good one if you're talking to the AI. Obviously, I'm just a talking head right now, so you can't really ask me what a reasonable timeline is, but you can ask the AI what a reasonable timeline is, or just, any AI, and usually it will do a pretty good job of saying what's a realistic timeline to get to this body weight, this body fat percentage, etc., based on where I'm at. And then you want to list out, why is this number and timeline important to you? So you want to list all of the reasons that matter to you. Health, confidence, performance, family, or personal pride, or just something that I missed. Could be business related, career related, whatever that thing may be. You want to list out every single reason why this thing matters to you, and you'll see why when we get further into the activity. Step number two, see the cost of inaction. So this is the push that I was talking about. This is what will help you get off your ass and get moving. If there's a rat and you want the rat to run through a maze, you can either put cheese at the other end so it smells it and it's a pull, it pulls the rat towards it. But initially, the rat can't really smell the cheese too well because it's super far away from it. However, if you put a cat behind the rat, or at least the smell of a cat or whatever rats are scared of behind it, that can get it going. That's what this is. This is the fear of inaction. And you know what? It's okay to be scared sometimes, because the reality is if you don't get moving, some of these fears might come true. But if you do get moving, you can avoid them. So not trying to scare the crap out of you, but yeah, it's okay to see reality for what it is once in a while. So if you do nothing, what will your life look like in 6 to 12 months? What parts of your life are you currently unsatisfied with that losing weight would improve? What things would get better if you lost weight? So what are you unsatisfied with that you think losing weight would help? If you do nothing, what will your life look like in 6 to 12 months? And which specific downsides are you most tired of? Low energy, low sex performance, poor confidence, health risks, clothing not fitting right, people not talking to you at the bars if you're going out trying to meet somebody. I don't know. Whatever things resonate with you, ideally kind of listen to your emotions on this one. You can there's logic too, but this is like, what are these emotional negatives that you've been feeling and you feel like they're a downside of, having that extra weight that you want to lose. Step three, envision the results. Now is time to practice some of that visualization you've probably heard people talk about with athletes. This one you definitely get better at with time. So you can even close your eyes and kind of listen to me, but you want to picture yourself at your goal weight. How would you look? How would you feel physically and mentally? So not just, having abs and big muscles or whatever it is that you embody, a flat stomach, nice legs, whatever that may be. Not just how you look, but how would you feel physically and mentally? Would your joints feel better? Would you feel more mentally clear? Would you stop thinking about losing weight all the time and having that be a burden? Stop beating yourself up about it. What weight would be lifted off your shoulders there? And how would this change your confidence, health, or your daily life? and or. So you can do and or, all of them. You want to list as much out in as much detail and as many different things as you can here. And describe what an average day would feel like, feel, keyword there, what an average day would feel like once you've achieved this. Step number 4, identify the trade-offs. So what habits or comforts are you willing to give up? Some examples could be late night snacking, skipping workouts, scrolling before bed. These are things that you're pretty confident are not helping get you where you want to go, and you might need to give them up in order to get where you want to go. And that's okay, because we're going to talk about how to improve your habits in future steps, but you just need to list them out so you can identify them here. And you'll identify plenty more as we go. And what investments are you willing to make? Time, learning, tracking meals, cooking at home, hard conversations with a spouse or your family or your parents or whatever that may be. And if you're unsure, you can write, I'm willing to invest in myself and do what's required to reach my goal. So step number 5 is your personal commitment statement. You can kind of make this whatever you resonate with the most, but it needs to be important to you and resonate with you. So I gave you a structure of what it might look like, but everybody's going to be a little different because everybody has different reasons for change and different things they want to achieve. So I'm committed to, this is the structure I wrote out. I'm committed to, whatever your goal may be, and I'm committed to by achieving it by this date because I want to feel or have, whatever these things may be that you want to feel or have. And I'm tired of whatever this pain point is that you're having. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of my family being this way. I'm tired of people not talking to me or not respecting me, whatever that may be. And to get there, I'll give up these things. It's not about just doing more. You might need to pull back. There might be a bunch of extra stuff you're wasting your time on. That's actually not serving you and getting you towards your goals. And then I'm willing to adopt what habits. So I've got this example down below, but everybody's may look a little bit different. So the example is I'm committed to losing 20 pounds by January 21st because I want to feel confident, strong, and in control, and I'm tired of feeling sluggish and inconsistent. To get there, I'll give up late night scrolling, random eating, and saying yes to every takeout meal. I'll adopt habits that keep me structured, fueled, and focused. So for reflection, have a defined destination, a clear understanding of the cost of staying the same, and a declaration of what you're willing to trade for progress. So revisit this sheet every few weeks to realign your focus because you will learn more, both about tactical knowledge of how to diet and what dieting means and how to do things. But you also learn more about yourself as you actually stay committed on this journey. And as you go through this journey, you're not going to be the same person in the middle or at the end of it as you are now. So you will probably need to come back because that new person will need to revisit this and refine their commitment statement a little bit. So now that we're to the end of it, we can go up here and we can click on the AI coach and I can show you quickly how you could use that. So if you're not there's already a prompt built in, I'm not sure how to start the activity 1 on clarity. And this will really start you from the beginning. If there's an exact step, you could say, hey, I'm not sure how to start, this exact step on clarity. But if you just want it to help you walk you through it from the beginning, it is trained on that, so it can walk you through there. So it's going to list out, here's what you should do, yada, yada, yada. So you can read through this. You already read through the activity. I mean, I read through it for you too, but you read through it, so you know what part you're probably struggling with. But if you want it to help you, you just click on that button and then it'll walk you through it. So planning, dieting, yada, yada, yada. This activity exists before calories, macros, habits. Explains why this activity is important. The easiest way to start with no overthinking. So I'll start here, step 1, open a notes app, journal, document, whatever. What do I want to change about my body or health right now? If nothing changes, what am I worried about in 6 to 12 months from now? Why does this matter now and not someday in the future? It gives you some of that, whatever AI verbiage, yada, yada. And then it explains why most people get stuck. So you just get started doing that first step here. You can write out the first step and send it to the AI. It'll read it and you can just have it walk you through step by step. So if you wanted to say, step 1, go back here to find your goal. So target weight. I want to lose, it might be better to write this in a notes app, write out the whole activity and just come in here for things you're confused about because it's going to blabber a lot if you send in every single response to it. But let's say this, I want to lose 20 pounds by March First, I currently weigh 220 pounds. By when? Okay, yep. Why is this number and timeline important to me? Cool. I want to feel more confident with, geez Louise, my shirt off. I want to prove to myself I can do hard things. I want to learn how to diet for the long term so I can be more self-sufficient, something like that. Whatever your reasons are for you. It can be way more emotionally involved than that. I'm not going to sit here and write out some big sob story that I make up here. So let's say that, and then let's say I told it my current weight. Is this a reasonable timeline? Help me gauge how reasonable it is and adjust before I move on in the activity. So you can follow the activity the way I wrote it verbatim. This is just showing you some things you can ask it. Lose 20 pounds, identity, proved yourself you can do hard things, skill, learn how to diet for the long term. Cool. Combination matters, number, yada yada. 20 pounds. I don't know today's date on your end, so I'll frame this in rate. Yep. Sustainable fat loss is a half pound to a pound per week. For most people, it's actually better to go off by percent of body weight. So you could actually say 0.5% to 1% of your body weight per week. 1%'s is more aggressive. 0.5% is more realistic. So with me being 220 pounds, 1% a week would be 2.2 pounds. 0.5% would be just over 1 pound per week. So it usually requires 12 to 20 weeks, depending on consistency. Yeah. So sometimes these things are so stupid. They're not, but they are. Today's date is 12/21/25. So I'll give it the date. We'll see if it can tell me if it's a good goal. Yep. About 10 weeks. That's about 2 pounds per week. Yes, for some people under tight conditions. Is it reasonable to give you? So if you're starting out, you don't want to go on the most aggressive diet ever right away. Kind of setting yourself up to fail because you have to do certain things to lose that much weight that fast, and they're not going to be sustainable. And dieting is more of a sustainable consistency game than it is a rapid game. But you do want to get some results fast because if you don't get any results, you lose like 1 pound after 6 weeks. You're going to be like really questioning whether it works. So yeah. If you guys have questions on this activity, talk to the AI. If the AI is sucking or not doing as good of a job as you hoped, come to me. I'll continue to train these as we go, so it'll get better. But just ask it questions that you may have, things you want to discuss with it, and it will help you get more clear or navigate things you just have questions on and you don't want to wait for me to reply. So that's how that works.